Good evening, everybody. It's Saturday night, so you know what that means. We are live here with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now, Not Later Super Speedway Series, where tonight we are actually doing something that's a league first, and I know I'm a little bit jet lagged from the flight over. We are at Monza, Italy, at the Autodromo Nazionale. Now, I know a lot of you guys have run this in Carb Cup if you are a iRacing member, and I do know that the combined course is a lot of fun when you put this oval and the road aspect together. But tonight, for one of two times that they will visit this track, we're going to go 60 laps here in the open truck. We're going to have two stages, lap 15 and lap 30. And I got to tell you, from what we've been seeing here in practice, that this is going to be exactly what we've seen anytime we've ever been in anything Monza related. It's going to be extremely hard to pass, so getting the pole here is definitely going to be key. Looking at some of the practice times right now, the 8 of Dana Osborne is at the top of the board with a 47.429, followed by fellow Southern Thunder teammate Paul Servant with a 47.443. And to round out the top 3, Mark Jorgensen Jr., 3 out of 4. With a 47.463, 66 Bobby Finch in fourth with a 47.526, and Dwayne Cooper in the double zero is going to round out the top 5 with a 47.635. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the pace car tonight instead of Brett Bodine, because I gotta tell you, there's a story with Brett. We were all getting ready when we were going through the TSA checkpoint on the plane. Well, apparently Brett had been drinking a little bit, and they let him through security, which I think was a big mistake. We get on the plane, Brett gets smashed. He thinks that he's flying the plane, so right now he's held up at the airport, and they're letting him come off the drug tank. Luckily, we were able to get Emerson Fittipaldi as our pace car driver tonight, so we should actually see the pace car holding a great line. Hopefully we don't have to see it a lot tonight, other than obviously the pace lap here, but as we've been watching all throughout practice, they've tried to go too wide here. Turn 1 and 2 they can do it in, turn 3 and 4 is really going to be the problem spot, but anything can happen here. Now, there have been some rule changes that have also come into play here as we wind down the final seconds here. And there will be no more wave buys. If you go down a lap, the only thing that's going to save you is going to be the iRacing Lucky Dog. Now, that being said, and this being Monza, I think these guys are going to probably play it a lot safer, seeing how they still do have the one quick fix, but they do not have the free pass anymore. So now we're going to follow into qualifying here. Let's see who can get out on track and lay down a smoking fast lap. As we see that at 16 and Chris Brown is going to make his way out. Oh boy. I hope y'all ain't doing 3 and 4 wide, Jim. That's gonna be dangerous, especially here. Now, if you guys get bored or if you get tired of it, there's an awesome jump off of turn 2. If you come off of the high line, aim for the hillside, you can actually clear the tires and land on the inside of the track there. And watch out for the outside fence too, because if you get some wheels off in the grass, that fence is notorious for getting stuck into it. And we've seen a lot of really, really bad things happen there. But this is definitely an interesting break from Daytona and Talladega, and it's actually very, very beautiful here in Italy. What we saw on the plane ride in, the ride out here to the track. Hopefully we can hit up the wineries and stuff before we get back on the plane. It is Easter weekend, what better way to spend it than in Monza, Italy. We see the 94 of Roddy Klein. A lot of these drivers either making their out laps or starting to make their first lap here. Waiting for IRTVO to start showing me some lap times here. Alright, we've got a few coming in right now with Chris Brown with the early. Now Roddy Klein taking the top spot with a 58.42. Now the 44 of David Anderson's going to take that with a 7.43. Take a look there at the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. right now being scored in P5. Quick look right now as we see Chris Brown making his second lap out. He's going to retake the pole momentarily with a 56.61. Now the 94 is going to strike back with a 56.11. See what David Anderson can do, and he's going to do so with a 55.17. Well, the majority of these guys are out qualifying, and oddly enough, the Italian government is totally cool with us playing the U.S. national anthem, even though we are not in the States tonight, which I think is awesome. So, as always, the U.S. Army Marching Band follows us wherever we go, and once again tonight they will be giving us our national anthem. So please rise, remove your hats as we bring you tonight's national anthem. Excellent job as always, which is going to lead us into tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, we have the 44 of David Anderson with a 50.517. Starting to his outside, the 94 of Roddy Klein with a 56.11. Rolling off third will be the 16 of Chris Brown with a 56.61. The 00 of Dwayne Cooper will start from the fourth position with a 58.03. Oops, wrong button there. Maybe we indulged a little bit too much on the line. Rolling off fifth will be the 3 of Paul Servant with a 58.09. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. will start from sixth with a 58.21. Starting seventh tonight will be the 88 of Gregory Thompson with a 50.864. The 66 of Bobby Tinch will roll off eighth with a 58.77. Starting ninth will be the 35 of Sawyer Ott with a 51.037. Dana Osborne in the 8 rounds out the top 10 with a 51.085. Mark Jorgensen Jr. will start 11th in that 81 machine with a 51.138. The 58 of Jim Peterson starts 12th with a 51.308. The 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer will roll off from 13th with a 51.332. And rounding out tonight's field will be the 18 of Gary Champion. Actually, we do have a couple other drivers as well as Garrett Robinson in 15th and Jason Kinzer 16th. That will round out the field. As Mike, this is definitely going to be an interesting race here. We're going to be using a lot of different cameras, a lot of TV1, but a lot of onboards, and possibly some chopper.
Yeah, this is gonna be this is definitely gonna be crazy. I don't know if how much experience these guys have on this track, but it's tough. It's a tough track, and you know they gotta just keep it together and just use patience because if they get real pushy and trying to go too wide and 3 wide, it's gonna be a death fest.
Well, like I said, if all else fails, we can always hit the jump. We know that from a lot of experience. As we see the field making their way around, it's so odd to see a banked, elevated track here where there's no earth around it. It's a league first, and it's definitely a first for us, so it's going to be interesting to see how the camera angles play out, and definitely how the racing is going to play out tonight, as this is the open truck setup here, and we know that the backstretch is extremely bumpy. As you can see, the truck's there on the outside line. That's particularly more bumpy than versus the inside, but I've run enough carb cups here to know that if you don't know what you're doing, you're asking to get in a lot of trouble real quick here. So these guys are definitely going to have to exercise extreme patience, a lot of caution, and there's got to be a lot of giving and not a lot of taking.
All right, I just got word from race control that the leader can go on the pace car whenever he wants. He doesn't have to wait for green flag.
The 00 Dwayne Cooper there just tagged the wall and spun down to the inside there. That's going to bunch up the back of the field there. He's got to get that truck turned around and back, otherwise we might have a delayed green here. All right, so as the pace car makes its way out of turn 4, it's going to duck down into the paddocks over here. That's another weird word that we're not used to hearing, as we see this truck's already with damage. So as we get ready, pace car drop, green flag.
Green flag.
And we are underway here. 60 laps once again. 2 stages. One will come out. There'll be a mandatory caution lap 15 as well as lap 30. See there, the one of R.D. Peterson Jr.'s got a little bit of a wedgie going on. But also got a couple other trucks with some damage already. 3 of Paul Servant's got a little bit of damage going on as well. I believe all that came from that pace lap altercation there, where I believe the 94 went a little bit wide and caused the 00 to go down. We saw there on the pace lap. See that the 35 of Sawyer, he's heavily damaged as well there in the rear. But nonetheless, these guys are going to try and take it too wide, as they're going to do it here through 1 and 2. You see the 66 of Bobby Tinch there with that nose damage. Right here is about the only place that you can really make a pass, because you guys, they've got to really get back in line by the time they make the corners here. As they're going to find out, as we see there's the 94 Brady Klein scraping the outside catch fence. And we see him hard hit to the wall there. A good job backing out of the throttle and saving it. That right there is classic Monza. He started outside pole, and now that's going to drop him way all the way to the rear of the field. These guys are still racing for a stage win, which once again will come at lap 15 and then lap 30 and then obviously lap 60, and we do have the 3 extra laps allocated for 1 attempt at a green light checker. That's assuming that we have enough trucks left at the end of the race to do so.
Yeah, they're doing surprisingly well for how hard of a track it is.
I think most people that run plate leagues, or they just run plate tracks in general, they're not really familiar all that much with Monza, seeing how everybody Doesn't really care. So we see the one of R.D. Peterson Jr. get loose. He's still going to slide around there. We see the 35 of Sawyer Ott get a piece. He's going to come back up the track. Good job trying to lock it down. This is going to probably be what we actually want to see here. This is going to spread some of the racing out. There's not going to be as many trucks fighting for the same piece of real estate, but great job by both those drivers keeping those trucks under control, not coming back up the track and taking any extra trucks out with them. We are going to lift off the ground here. We're going to go up in the chopper here for a little bit. We were hoping that we could get the Goodyear blimp, but unfortunately we couldn't hire enough Italians, and apparently it was something like Nürburgring. Monza is like a historical landmark, so they wouldn't let us cut the trees down, so we don't have a clear shot with the blimp, but we are chasing them with the chopper. And unlike News Chopper 4 that went down in the Hudson River, we will stay in the air.
We can't guarantee that, though.
Well, safety first, and apparently Brett is at the controls of the helicopter. Somehow he broke out of the drum tank. We're gonna die. We're looking right here at the battle for fourth spot between 66. And we see back here, this is fifth position. This is the one of R.D. Peterson Jr. He's trying to get back up there. Bobby right now being scored in the fourth position.
Caution, caution.
And we've got a caution on the track.
Kind of walk me through a lap here, please.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go back and take a look and see what happened there. So we can see right there the 58 of Jim Peterson, the blown motor. We're going to go ahead and back it up and see what it, oh, there's a good shot. See, we're going to back it up just a bit here and see what happened. See them barreling down the backstretch here. Right now they're pretty much at max speed. Everything looking good so far as they make their way through 3 and 4 here. The 16 of Chris Brown, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer there behind them. And there it is, a little touch by the 16. We see the 58 trying to save it down on the apron. He does so there, but then he gets it loose again. It is so hard to control these things when they're down there, especially when you've got all the dirt and he comes up and there we see, oh, wild ride. You see multiple flips there by the 58. Alright, so as we look at the field here, everybody is going to be coming down pit road here. Your current race leader is the 88 of Gregory Thompson, and he's actually going to stay out. You see everybody else behind him coming down pit road, minus, I believe, the one of R.D. Peterson Jr. He's going to stay out as well. So that will reset the top two to, actually 3 stayed out. We'll have Gregory Thompson, R.D. Peterson Jr. See the 00 Dwayne Cooper there. Dwayne is the first truck a lap down, so he will get the iRacing Lucky Dog. Now, once again, the rules have changed here for the rest of the season. There are no more wave buys. It'll be done solely through the iRacing Lucky Dog. And right now, that 00 is sitting in the Lucky Dog spot. So, once the pace car makes it around, we should see the 00 go ahead and pass the field here and get his lap back, which will recycle him to the tail end of the lead lap. As he is going to do so now, he's going to barrel ahead of the pace car. Now, this is a long, long track. We pull up and look at it. It's actually almost as big as Talladega, which Talladega weighs in at 2.66 miles. This is 2.647, so almost as big as Talladega, but a hell of a lot more deadlier. As we can see, the track temp is 90 degrees. Take a look at the weather here, 64 degrees, partly cloudy. It feels a lot warmer than 64, but once again, that could be all the alcohol, the free alcohol that we had on the plane. And we're to the tower. We have our first entry who is going to be punching his plane ticket back to America. That'll be the 18 of Gary Champion, as he is retired from the race. And he's going to go back to the hotel room, watch the rest of this one, maybe order some linguine, and then jump the plane back over the pond here to the good old USA. Do something interesting. Let's ride on the gyro cam with our race leader. We can see Emerson Fittipaldi doing an amazing job. Look at him hugging that yellow line there with the iRacing pace car, which is weird. I would have figured they would have pulled out like maybe the Porsche or something, seeing how it's more exotic, but then again, that is a German car, not Italian. But what could be even further than Italian than a freaking Mustang?
Yeah, iRacing. Where's the Ferrari pace car at, huh?
Yeah, we need like a 488 out there or something, or yeah, the 458 Italia, something. We're in Italy. Do as the Italians do. That's like the old saying: when in Rome, do as the Romans. So assuming that nobody goes down pit road, our top 10 is going to consist of the 88 of Gregory Thompson, our race leader, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. second, the 44 of David Anderson, our pole sitter, third, the 16 of Chris Brown fourth, Bobby Tinch in the 66 fifth, the 94 of Roddy Klein sixth, the 11 of Jason Kinzer seventh, the 3 of Paul Servant eighth, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer ninth, and Sawyer Ott in the 35 is going to round out the top 10. If you look a little bit further back, the 8 of Dana Osborne will be scored in 11th, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. 12th, Jim Peterson in the 58 after watching that epic barrel roll down the backstretch. Will restart from the now 14th position as we see the 00 Dwayne Cooper is going to be scored in 13th. And actually, Mike, we have 2 retirees. It appears the 56 of Garrett Robinson never even took to the track, so maybe he punched his plane ticket way early in advance. He knew what was coming.
Maybe he was too drunk to get on the track.
You never know. I know we're all a little bit buzzed. The Italians here, I gotta say, they are hellacious with their hospitality here. And, hospitality and alcohol seem to go hand in hand. As we see the lights on the pace car are out, so the field's gonna double up here, and we're gonna be less than a lap away from restarting here with 4 laps to go before we end stage 1 here. There we see the 58 of Jim Peterson racing around to catch back up to the back end of the field here. Plenty of time to do so as they're just now coming out of turn 2. And right there is our favorite spot, the tire wall. You can catch some really hellacious air over that thing. If you're lucky enough, you can stick it right there just in between the outside fence there and the inside wall. And then you can actually get back onto the track if you jump it again going into turn 3. Now, I don't recommend doing that in any official races, but it's fun as hell to do in practice sessions or hosted sessions when we throw them up. That or doing the Now the iRacing took down the glass wall, we can do the Bathurst jumping contest again. So utilizing another one of the cameras that you guys never really get to see, we're going to use the rear chase for this restart here, and we're going to do it from the 88's point of view. As we were told earlier, it is driver's discretion here as to when they take off. Now, as long as they do this before, as long as they don't reach the start-finish line before the green flag comes out, they are free to take whenever they want, which would probably be the smart idea here, because this will actually spread the field out a little bit and we won't see too much. As the pace car's already down, we're passing the paddocks right now. We see the 88 with a good jump there.
Green flag.
Green flag is out, we're back underway. Now there's two start-finish lines here. One is for the combined course and one is for the actual oval. You go past one thinking that that's where the actual start-finish line is, but we saw where now we see the 44 David Anderson. He's going to try and make a move here on the outside of the 88. And he's a little bit of contact there with the 88, but nothing that's going to hurt either one of those trucks, as the 44 David Anderson is going to take over the lead. As we see the 16 and Chris Brown absolutely flying, and now he's going to be down there in the danger zone. Oh, we got the 44 turn. Little contact there between him and the 88, but David able to gather it up. That's going to hand the race lead back over. Oh, now we see they're piling back up again. We caught that one, and we see the carnage still going on here. Several trucks. Oh, ow. Hitting that inside fence there, so. Big wreck there out of turn 4. As we see the 44, he's going to make his way down pit road. We're going to go on board with the 16 for this replay. All right, so here we go. This is back to the initial restart. Keep your eyes on that green, black, and red 16 right there. This will also end our first stage. But once again, keep your eyes peeled on that green 16 machine right there. Here we saw that little bit of contact between the 44 and the 88 as Dave made the pass on the high side. See the 8 there, Dana Osborne, a little bit swirly as everybody's going to fan out. You see the run the 16 gets, but we all know that down there on that apron is the worst place to be, and there's the turn by the 88. We see everybody bunching up here. The 16 still down the apron trying to save it. He gathers it up a little bit and then snaps back up the track, unfortunately, collecting the 66 of Bobby Tinch. Several trucks involved in that one. The 44 of David Anderson, the 35 of Sawyer Ott. And as we see the rest of the field slowly make it around, the 16 is going to fire it back over. And we're also going to go on board with the 11 of Jason Kinzer for this one. We're actually going to do a cockpit one on this one. Here we are on the backstretch, and I have a feeling I already know where we're going with this camera. I've been there many times myself purposely, but here we go. We're going to ride on board. Watch, there's the 44 go down, the 16 able to go around, but then he snaps back up in front of the field right about there. You see Kinzer getting a piece of the wall. He gets tagged, and yep, I've been there several times myself, that inside fence. And if you look right there, that is actually the Monza short oval track or road course there. That would be the Monza Junior road course. As we see out front, it's still going to be the 88 of Gregory Thompson. Actually, no, as things are going to shake up, it'll be the 94 of Roddy Klein. We can hear, if you guys can hear that, there's a couple vehicles, listen. You hear that? And now usually that's me when my internet goes to fucking shit, but right now that's the setup right there where it's actually dragging the truck arm and probably the entire suspension of these trucks on the track here. Now, I wasn't kidding when I said that this track was a rough son of a bitch, and as you can hear it right now, these trucks are dragging. We're going to focus on the one here as he comes off of pit road. We're going to go to the gearbox camera here. Alright, so let's see. We are going to go onto the gearbox camera to hear this. You hear that? That is his truck pogo sticking right there. And it's also an iRacing bug. I kind of figured it was. Still funny as hell to hear. Mike, this is right up your door. This sounds like that door slamming techno.
I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, some obligatory techno beats in the background, some doors slamming, and we're all set.
Some neon body paint, some black lights, and some glow sticks.
And Artie Peterson's truck.
Oh yeah. It's just so funny to hear that. Sometimes iRacing can give you some of the best ones ever. It actually sounds like a freight car that's got a flat spotted wheel.
It reminds me of every Dead Mouse song ever.
Well played. Alright, well the 94 of Roddy Klein is going to lead us into the restart here. He's got the 00 Dwayne Cooper to his outside. The 1 Artie Peterson Jr. behind him, as well as the 3 of Paul Servant, Jason Kinzer, and Sawyer Art. Pace car is making its way down. Roddy with the jump here.
Green, 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 green.
Green flag is back out. We are now in a stage 2. Now once again we will get a caution with... Trying to remember, doing the drunk math here, seeing how we're all here. It'll be on lap 30 as we are looking at the countdown now. 50 laps, 49 to go. So we will get another competition caution here to end stage 1. So we got a battle going on now for the lead here between the 00 and the 94. As once again, we are going to ride on the rear chase camera. I think this is going to be the most utilized camera here at Monza. You get a great shot of the field behind and the action. As you can see the heavy damage there to the right front of that 00 Toyota Tundras. Now he's going to come under fire by the 1, as well as the 44 who had to use his quick fix in that last wreck. You see the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. going around. We've got another caution.
You got some debris, I think, here on the... Yeah, I see it here.
We see the 3 of Paul Servant there doing some
like a damn
around the
axle.
corner there. And we're going to have to go on with the 3 of Paul Servant for that one, because we caught the aftermath of that one, but holy shit. We're going to ride from the rear chase view and watch this one. This is going to be probably a holy shit moment. Actually, we're going to flip it around. We're going to go from far chase and see what happens here. See the moves being made here. See the 1 there down on the apron, and he comes up, collects the 11. A little bit of neck. Oh, God. Ouch. Medic. Medic. Hard hit by the 3. That wall absolutely just dead stopped him. That was crazy.
Just watch the replay. We went from 123 miles an hour down to 8.
Ow. That one is definitely not going to get fixed with some ibuprofen and some Band-Aids. And now we have another retiree out of the race, the 11 of Jason Kinzer. He's going to head back to the hotel room and get ready to just pack that suitcase up and head back to the USA, as he is our latest retiree out of the race. That'll be our second one. The other driver, the 18 of Gary Champion, as well as the 56 of Garrett Robinson. So you see everybody right now on pit road. Bobby Tinch winning the battle off the pit road there. That'll be the third spot. The 00 Dwayne Cooper and the 44 of David Anderson opting to stay out. I'm wondering how effective the Hans device is at this track.
I'm more curious of what the hell those guardrails are made of.
It's a rumor floating around that they are made out of depleted PL-259 uranium, but they are definitely some tough stuff. I think the guys at Watkins Glen need to replace those Armco barriers with these ones.
Yeah, that was amazing. The 3 hit so hard and just dead stopped, and the guardrail's perfectly fine.
Now just imagine if Michael McDowell, when he, or David Ruderman, excuse me, at Watkins Glen, when he hit the inside wall, flipped over the track and then nailed the outside wall. That wouldn't have happened if they were using these barriers here.
Well, Ruderman's career just would have been shorter than it already was.
That's true. I think that one there was almost a combination of Ruderman and McDowell's crash in Texas combined.
Yeah, we just needed more flipping.
Well, there is still a lot of racing left to do. We do have 43 laps remaining. So there's still a good possibility for some people to catch some massive airtime here. And I'm not talking about just being on TV. I'm talking about actually physically flying.
Check that. Not one to go yet.
So we are going to be experiencing a delayed green here. We can still see the damage there on that 00. We know Dwayne is either, he's been going in and slightly repairing that machine, saving that fast repair for the end. With 42 laps to go and the lights on the pace car, they'll have to go one more time around before we can get this race back underway. You can hear the iRacing glitch. Just listen to this shit, Mike.
I'm seeing something we never see. The 81 in the back.
Wow. Right now, Mark being scored in the 11th spot. Quick run through the top 10 here. We got the 44 of David Anderson out front, the 00 Dwayne Cooper second, the 66 of Bobby Tinch winning the race off of pit road for P3. 94 Roddy Klein fourth, the 88 of Gregory Thompson fifth, The 16 of Chris Brown, 6th. The 35 of Sawyer, 7th. Jim Peterson, the 58, 8th. The 8 of Dana Osborne, 9th. Raymond Rittenhauer in the 87, 10th. Looking through the rest of the field, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. in 11th. Artie Peterson Jr. in the 1, 12th. And Paul Servant in the 3, 13th. Should see the lights on the pace car go out this time by. They will get the 1 to green right here. Now, I fully expect to see the 44 get the good jump on the inside, but hopefully these guys aren't going to do what we saw last time with the run that they got on the inside line and then trying to carry that momentum from the apron back up onto the track. And Monza's hard enough to race single file, but when you drop down there on that apron, that's just death. And we've seen it a few times already. Hopefully we don't see it again on this restart.
Yeah, these guys are learning the hard way. Stay off the apron. It is death.
Well, this track in general is pretty much death, but the apron, very, very, very deadly. As once you come up off of that, you're making almost the transition as if you were to come off of the, let's say there was, the pit wall at Bristol didn't exist, and you literally merged straight up from the bottom of the apron at Bristol up onto the transition banking. That's exactly what it's doing here at Monza. And with the speed that you're carrying, that it doesn't matter if you've got 14 fat chicks on the back of the truck under the tonneau cover there, it's still going to go around.
I just had to do some research here. The banking on this oval is 38.69 degrees.
I believe that's actually steeper than any NASCAR banking. I know Daytona clocks in at 36, or 33 degrees rather. Alright, so we're going to watch once again from the rear chase point of view here as we can see the entire field getting ready to restart here. The pace car is going to make its way down into the paddocks. As it has done so, we're going to cross the first finish line.
Green
jump
flag.
out of 44. Green
Everybody's
flag
rolling.
is out. This is undoubtedly the steepest banked oval that we see on the iRacing surface, with Talladega being 33 and Daytona being 31. Daytona just feels a hell of a lot more because of how much more narrow the track is versus Talladega. You see the 44 there protecting the inside line as the 94 is getting a good run there. Hopefully these guys can keep the trucks under control as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. You see a double zero. Oh, the double zero. Ouch. No caution there for that one, but we saw the death there. That one, that's not a medic. That's called a coroner. Since that did go to the inside of hell, I think he might have cleared part of Monza Jr. there. So the green flag will stay out. We have 39 laps to go here. Oh, as you see Bobby tinching the wall there. No, that wasn't Bobby, actually. I believe that was the 88 in the wall. And after that hellaciously awesome acrobatic kickflip 10,000 off of turn 4, the double zero of Dwayne Cooper. I don't know if are they putting him in a body bag or are they just checking him out in the infield care center, because that was brutal.
I think they're just taking the whole truck and just shipping it back to Texas. Him in it.
Might be the safer call there. Right now we are watching, we see the 66 of Bobby Tinch hooked up to the back of the 44, David Anderson. Meanwhile, we got the battle going on between the 88 of Gregory Thompson and the 35 of Sawyer Ott. We see the 94 catching a piece of the outside wall. Got a truck load down on the apron. He's actually going to be able to hang on to it that time. It's going to be the 58 of Jim Peterson. As now the 66 has decided he wants to try and make it around the 44s. They're going to head off into 3 here. See, right now, it looks like the ideal thing to be doing is to hold that higher line coming off of the corners. We see the 94 doing. He's able to keep the 44 at bay, but we all know that the corners are only half the battle. The straightaways is where you really got to watch it. Oh, as we see the 66 get loose, he's going to come back out the track. Contact with the 16. Oh, and there goes somebody flying. That was the 94 Roddy Klein just completely flying off the track. That should be a caution for that one, but as of right now, it is going to stay green. So that right there, we're going to stay green flag for that one, but we have got to go back and watch that from the 94's point of view. We're going to go on board with him for that one. All right, so this is going to be an interesting ride here. We're going to see some David Blaine magic right here. So this will be coming up to it. This is the run here that they're getting down the backstretch into turn 3. But wait till we get down to turn 1 and 2 here. Then you're going to see something that most people only see when either me or Mike throw up a Monza fun room.
Caution. Maybe some fuel whenever you can, but you're doing a really good job. Tell me about your race car when you can.
It's undoubtedly for this incident right here. We get ready to watch it happen. He contacts the wall, down, hits the jump, and he sticks the landing. Goes out of the track, resets you automatically to pit road. We're also going to go back and watch that from the one of R.D. Peterson Jr. To back up a little bit, we see this is going to be the lap leading into the 94 making his abrupt exit off the track. Keep your eyes peeled on that one machine. There we can see the wreck happening there. There's the 94 flying off the track. So there's that incident that brought out, but this is not what we were watching. There's going to be something else happening here that Mike luckily was able to catch, so we're going to see it here. At the time, the caution had not come out, so right now these guys are still under green flag despite seeing the caution flag right now. The caution was thrown because of what we're going to see happening here. You watch his entry down here into turn 1 here. Is looking good so far to come off of turn 2. Oh my God. That right there is what our own Die Hard Racing's Jason DeVries would call Excelsior. That was death by impalement. Well, Monza's definitely living up to be its brutal, man, this race has got my brain so fucked up it's hard to even put a sentence together that even makes sense. But it's definitely living up to its reputation here. Holy crap. We've seen trucks flying to the right. We've seen them flying off the track in a different, maybe they wanted to go road racing. Now we've seen a head-on collision into the guardrail, resulting in a backflip. Mike, is there anything else that we haven't done ourselves that's possibly left that we can see here?
We used to go backwards and hit each other head on.
Yeah, we used to do that. Unfortunately, they can't do that, but I think we've pretty much seen just about everything that's typical for a Monza race.
Yeah, this is insane. I mean, that Artie Peterson hit was just, that was unbelievable. I mean, we're probably picking up this Artie on the track right now. That's
probably the hardest hit yet of the race so far. Followed second by the 00 when he nailed the inside. As we look, I do believe we have 2 more retirees to the race. Another 00, Dwayne Cooper. He is out, as well as the 16 of Chris Brown. So that will leave 11 drivers left in the field. We're going to go back on board with the one of Artie Peterson Jr. So you see he's got a clean truck there after, I don't know how, other than, yes. Oh, wow. Wow, that's what we saw a lot in practice there. The truck, like, just got air underneath of it and the front end just came up off the ground. Minimal damage though to the right front of that one machine, so not too bad.
I'm just gonna say this, but wow, iRacing, really? Come on.
Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you in part by Giuseppe's Parachute Company. While we're under caution here, we are going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here, and hopefully we return with cars going fast and not dying. Alright, as we see the lights on the pace car are out, the 35 of Sawyer, the 44 of David Anderson maintaining the race lead here. The 35 of Sawyer second, the 81 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. I think Mark actually had a smart idea riding on the back for a while, but now he is up in the danger zone. He'll be restarting from the 3rd position. The 3 of Paul Servant will be 4th. The 88 of Gregory Thompson 58 of Dana Osborne 6th, the 58 of Jim Peterson 7th, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer 8th, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. 9th, Roddy Klein in the 94 10th, and then rounding out the field will be the 66 of Bobby Tinchin 12th. Now this is going to come down to a battle of attrition here, as we've seen all throughout the race, and I think these guys now, after being here at Monza, they're going to have a hell of a lot more of appreciation for Daytona and Talladega next week.
Yeah, this track's kind of like a really shitty Daytona 07.
Oh yeah. At least at Daytona 07, they can put on a hell of a race there, but there's no guarantee with Monza. We know that, hands down. And just as a reminder, tomorrow night we will not be live as the Die Hard Racing League takes a week off for Easter, but we will return next week at Texas Motor Speedway, as right now we're getting ready for the green flag to drop here.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. We've got a battle here between the 44 and the 35, both of them getting a pretty good jump on the field here, so they're going to head down into turn 1 here. Hopefully we can get some clean laps in here, as this should have been the end of the second stage here, but I think if the caution flag doesn't come out as they cross the line here, they're just going to race this one and they'll call that last caution the end of stage 2. Which I think that would probably be the smart thing to do. The last thing you want to do is get these guys bunched up back together again and then have to make them restart again. So right now I think we might see a little bit more safety going on here. But, oh, we got contact between the 81 and the 44. The 44 is going to, ow, hard hit. 81 also involved as well. You see the 81 there. We're going to back it up and we're going to take a look at it. We're not under caution, but we're backing it up here. Take a look at the 44 and the 81 here. See Mark making the pass there, but I know we talk about bumping in the bad spots, but right there, there's just lane push. Oh my God. That was just a little bit of a tap in the quarter panel there by the 44 to the 81, and that's what we see. Meanwhile, as we look back out front, it's 3 of Paul Servant. He's made his way up into the race lead, inheriting it after that incident on track, which did not throw a caution because it was down below the racing surface. So I believe, what's this now, maybe about 6 trucks, 7 trucks lead lap. You see the 58 of Jim Peterson riding right up on the back bumper of the 3 right now. Paul side, take it please. Don't hit me. Excuse me, that's the 88. Once again, don't go to Italy because they give you too much wine.
All right, I just got a report from race control. We are out of ambulances and shovels.
Do we have any choppers?
Don't think so.
Well, let's hope these guys keep it clean and green the rest of the way, because other than me, you, and Jason get some Dirt Legends cars trying to make a divot in the track, there's nowhere that we can bury the bodies. One thing I do want to see, though, I want to see the speeds that these guys are running here. We haven't seen it yet tonight, but I want to see just exactly how fast these guys are getting in the straightaway. With draft from the 88, top speed is going to be 203 going into turn 1. See if they could do a little bit better on the backstretch. See if they can get that to like 204, maybe 205. Well, surprisingly slower on the backstretch so far. Only 201, 200 I think they realize that turn 1 and 2 is not as dangerous as turn 3 and 4, so they back off a little bit for 3 and 4. I think what we're seeing now, though, is we're going to see a lot of the drivers just riding along now. Now we look almost like the 88 and the 8 we're going to go to the inside, but honestly, if I were these guys, I would be quite content just running it the way it is right now. As once again, we're going to shift our camera view back to the rear chase as we look back at the race leader of the 3 of Paul Servin. The 8 of Dana Osborne back there. He's got the 58 of Jim Peterson with him. Right now, our front 4, Paul Servin, Gregory Thompson, Dana Osborne, and Jim Peterson. Behind that, we have Sawyer Up, Raymond Rittenhauer, and then Artie Peterson Jr., first truck a lap down in 7th. So it appears that the 44 and the 81 have both disconnected as well, so they have punched their tickets out. So the 66 of Bobby Tench and the 94 of Roddy Klein will both be able to gain at least one more spot if they can get back out on track. Now we're going to go from that view. We're going to go in cockpit and ride on board with, actually, let's go on board with 2nd place, the 88. And we're going to go to my favorite camera, the gyro camera. See a lap truck there low on the apron. That will be, I believe, the 66 of Bobby Tench. Bobby just out there to get the positions. They're both going 2 spots here. Meanwhile, as we cycle back 1 driver, we're going to go on board with the 8 of Dana Osborne. Word through the radios, the drivers have about 5 laps of fuel remaining, so it looks like these guys will be pitting on about 5. We look back, we ride on board with the 58 of Jim Peterson. Look a little further back, 35 of Sawyer Ott. He is just now catching up to the 66 of Bobby Tench. We continue to cycle back a little bit further with the 87 Raymond Rittenhauer. He's got the 1 Artie Peterson Jr. That is a lap truck, so he's able to make it around that. Also right there, the 94 of Roddy Klein. We see the 1 Artie Peterson Jr. on pit road. Scroll back a little further here. Back up to our front 4. 20 laps to go, 19 at the line. Now these drivers once again will be pitting here in a few laps. Now this might actually be enough that We might not see a return to Monza. We might have a reschedule, and this might be kind of like when NASCAR went to Suzuka. They went there for what, like 4 or 5 years, and then they stopped running that road for a special event race. Or we could do something even more interesting. Put the K&Ns on this track. Alright, the word is our front four will be coming down pit road this time by. As we can see, once again, they are catching up to the lap trucks of Bobby Tinch, and it'll be the 94 of Roddy Klein. So in the event that we do see another caution come out, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer is being scored first truck a lap down, so he would receive the iRacing Lucky Dog. As we see the 58 of Jim Peterson is going to stay out, so that will cycle Jim up to the lead.
Caution.
And there is the caution.
You want something to drink? Yes, he'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
That one is going to be on the 94, so let's see what happened. You can see the truck kind of dog-legging a little bit there, so he's definitely broke the, or at least bent the truck arm on that thing. Oh, and there we see it. He blew his motor there. Let's see what brings out the caution. Okay, I don't... Alright, if I was him, I would have pulled down there the inside of the road course, but that's actually the offshoot of the road course leading onto the oval, but that is going to bring out the caution here, so once again the field will get doubled back up. And this will be the lucky break for the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. That will give him the iRacing Lucky Dog, so I'll put him back on the lead lap. And word to the tower, the one of R.D. Peterson Jr. has also retired from the race. Now we know the 94 Roddy Klein has already used this quick repair once, I do believe, and now with that motor expiring, I think he is pretty much going to be sitting on pit road waiting for a new motor. So winning the race off of pit road will be the 3 of Paul Servant, the 88 of Gregory Thompson second, the 8 of Dana Osborne third, the 58 of Jim Peterson fourth, the 35 of Sawyer Ott fifth, and Raymond Rittenhauer, after getting the lucky dog, will restart sixth. Right now it's still showing R.D. Peterson Jr. in seventh, but he has retired from the race, so Bobby Tinch will pick that spot up once he passes the amount of laps. That leaves, I believe that'll leave just Bobby, because I think Roddy's got to sit on pit road for the remainder of this race. So that will leave us down to 7 or possibly 8 trucks to finish it out with 17 laps, 16 to go at the stripe. So we'll have 6 trucks on the lead lap and 1 truck not, so 7 trucks left in the field. You see the 94 has retired. Right now Bobby being scored 10 laps down. He's just got to go around already 6 more times to get that spot back. Well, once again, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break and return with hopefully about 15 laps of green flag action and no more death. Alright, as we return here, the lights on the pace car are still on, so when they cross the line, hopefully they will go out and we can get this race in the books. As they'll have about 1.5 laps before we take the green here. I think we see a little bit of a strategy move being played here. When we were live before the commercial break, the 3 of Paul Servant had the lead. Now we see the 88 of Gregory Thompson with the lead. Jim Peterson second. And now we see the 3 and the 8 back there in 4th and 5th.
Let's get put this out there. There is no strategy now. You're just trying to survive.
Well, that would be the strategy, trying to survive. Or as the Bee Gees would say, staying alive. Alright, with these long laps here, as we see the pace car is down and away, I have the overwhelming urge to throw up a little bit of a voice clip of some Marty Reed failures.
Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the 5th chase in the race for the Sprint Cup is green. 1.5 miles to go here at Charlotte. The fans have seen a good one tonight. Trouble! Kurt's into the wall. Boyer's in it as well. And Kurt's getting the worst of it.
Man, look at this car.
Oh, man, further back, Elliott Sadler. And look at this engine is out of this thing.
Oh, my God.
This time, come on, now there's contact. Out of the way. Wallace spinning around, lights the tires up, keeps it off the wall. As we continue on the pace laps, we have a total of 12 onboard cameras, and let's show you Charlie Kimball's view. Flag is in the air, not yet. Here we go. The Dollar General 300 is green. Is there enough time?
Yeah, Carl Edwards out of fuel.
Out of fuel. Edwards is out of fuel. Justin Allgaier. We could have our second Nationwide Series regular winning this year. Carl down on the apron.
Looks like Allgaier's
out of fuel. Who's going to coast to the finish line?
Green flag's out.
Trevor Bayne. Here they come. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Could Trevor Bayne do it? Did he get his first win? The checkered flag. The checkered flag for Allgaier. He gets it over Edwards. Bayne comes home in third. Unbelievable finish. This is really going to be
Okay, here goes Junior to the inside.
Boyer takes the lead and pulls on, and at the stripe, it's Boyer. Stewart. I thought it was Boyer, but Tony Stewart does it. Wow. Holy cow. Well, let's get you caught up on him.
And that was just a brief little bit of Marty Reed going on there. I felt like that's kind of how tonight's race kind of been. So right now we see the battle for the lead going on between the 35 of Sawyer out and the 8 of Dana Osborne. Now we see what I was talking about with that little bit of a strategy move. We got the 3 of Paul Servant behind the 8 of Dana Osborne. I think these two guys here now can actually just check out. And And that just ultimately leads me back to, there had to have been a reason why people shuffled up the remaining order of trucks here, because when you've got the 3 and the 8 coupled together, there's no coming back from that. You're gonna have to pretty much turn them to pass them. And I think we're gonna see, if these other drivers can't hook up into 3 groups of 2, I think we're gonna see the 8 and the 3 possibly walk away with this thing, as we see the 87 Raymond Rittenhauer needs to get to the back bumper of the 35 of Solerat, and then we need to see the 58 and the 88 work together as well, as now we're going to see 2x2. Oh, we get the 58 in the wall there. He's down low. Oh, looks like he has a little bit of a kickflip there, and he's barrel rolling. That was the 88 of Gregory Thompson. Since we're going to stay green, we're going to go ahead and look at that one. Let's watch and see what happened there. I know he got down loose when the 58 got into the wall there, but let's see what happened to the 88. I know we saw a little bit of the end result, but now we're going to see all of it right here. See the wall. We see the 8. Oh wow. Style points. Most important part, he stuck the landing.
And
now,
just blow up his motor.
Yeah, well, it is not really doing so good, but he didn't blow it up, so he can drive it back. I want to go on board though. Let's ride on board with the 88 for this one. See the check up there. Wow. Wow. Hope nobody gets motion sick, but you could hear as he was mid-air, he was downshifting the truck into a gear in case he stuck the landing, which he did.
I'm just gonna put this out there, but whoever designed this track is a sadistic motherfucker.
I would have to totally agree with you there. This is brutal.
Who put 38 degrees of banking in the grass hills inside the turn?
Well, to be fair, these NASCAR vehicles were never intended to run on these. This is meant for high downforce cars, GT3, GT1, multi-class racing, not for vehicles that are made to go around on it. Basically the same patterned traditional oval style tracks, but as we saw tonight so far, it's made for some very, very entertaining replays. I think half of the race has been spent going back and watching things happening, while meanwhile it's still the 8 and the 3 out front. We have the 35, the 87, and the 58. So that is our top 5. They have managed to clean it together. We see a little bit of damage there to the left rear of the 8 of Dana Osborne. It's not going to affect him at all. Right now, I know Paul is going to be happy and content just to ride behind the 8. Right now, I think all these guys, I mean, I'd hope, for the love of God, that they would just be happy to finish. If they stay where they're at right now, they'll be a top 5 for all of them. So if anybody tries to make a move, I think that would kind of be a little bit slightly, well, no, not slightly. That would be completely insane to try and jeopardize what you got going here. The only thing that we can't count out is if it is lap traffic, if they can't get out of the way or if somebody freaks out and panics. But it will be, we are under 10 to go here. It's 7 laps to go. So we're almost done. We can put this thing in the books. You know what I'm looking forward to the most, Mike? Driver interviews.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to hear what everyone's got to say.
As fucked up as this has been here, these guys have The 8, the 3, the 35, the 87, the 58, they've all stuck it out. They've, well, they've got the battle scars, but they're sticking it out here. They're running it. They know that every point counts. A lot of drivers couldn't make it. Now, honestly, I think that might have been a safer bet to actually lose some championship points here, but knowing that you have to return here one more time this season, maybe that might be something that gets changed and we don't see it a second time. Because if this is anything like history, it'll repeat itself, and this is not going so well.
Something quite impressive I just noticed, the 88 of Gregory Thompson just used his fast repair on that caution. He has not used one yet this race until that wreck there.
Well, I think he might actually be able to. Oh, no, he's going to hold position. He'll stay in 6th position right now. Bobby Tinch, the 7th and final truck remaining in the field, being scored 11 laps down. I have a feeling at the rate these guys are going here pretty soon, it'll be 12. But that just goes to show determination right there. The 88 we saw up front during the first half of the race, then involved in catching that weird piece of sadistic grass sticking up there. As we see, there is the 66 of Bobby Tinch. He's going to stay on the apron. So that'll be 12 laps down now for 66, but he will maintain 7th position, so he will get 7th place points for tonight, assuming that 66. Well, now everybody else has quit out, so even if his motor blows and he has to tow to pit road, he will come home and get scored with 7th position.
Something else interesting I just heard on the comms is Paul Servant just said he's going to be tight on fuel. He might not make it.
And possibly some unforeseen variables now coming into play here as we're down into 4 laps to go when they hit the stripe this time. You see the 35 of Sawyer off, breaking down off onto pit road. As well as the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. So this might actually change up a little bit here. It's really hard to tell with this track here. I mean, we can gauge it easily at Daytona or Talladega, but Monza, with this being the first race here, not knowing how, with limited fuel, how many laps these drivers can go, and like you said, with the 3 reporting that he's going to be tight on fuel, who knows? If the 3 runs out, he might end up finishing all the way back towards the, well, I can't say the rear of the field because there's, the rear of the field is, I already think, on a U.S. Airlines flight back overseas. 3 laps to go here. We see the 3 is going to drop back behind, and that's going to allow the 58 of Jim Peterson up in the 2nd spot.
Yeah, you also got to wonder about the 8. If the 3's struggling, he's been behind the 8 the whole time. The 8's punching that hole, and he might be out sooner.
So you see they're going to come up onto the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer. Don't think it's going to be an issue, though. I do believe, as we see now, that the 58 of Jim Peterson is driven around the 8 Vin Osborne. We might see the 8 and 3 come down pit road this time. They're going to stay out. I think what they're doing is they're going to use the 58. No, I thought they were going to use it as a fuel-saving method, but you see the 8, he's clearly determined that he's going to stick it out, and he wants to stay out there and keep punching that hole. But this is actually white flag, so now we see the 58 going around. So right now it's just going to be the 8 and the 3 of Paul Servant. So let's see. They're just going to ride with each other, and this is going to be the end of the race here. So once they come around and take the stripe, this will be the race. So with that being the race, that'll give it to the 8 of Dana Osborne. Southern Thunder actually did a great job there bring home
Keep
1
it up,
and 2
caution
tonight.
is out. Talk to me quick here, bud.
Now that is going to be just so that these guys can finish the race under caution here. That way that it doesn't have any dictation on anything that's going to happen. They actually did stop the race 1 lap early, but that actually played in favor. As we see, it looks like the 8 of Dana Osborne might be out of fuel here. And I do believe I'm correct. So the 88 of Gregory Thompson is going to push the 8 around to pit road to get him back there as we see them entering turn 3 here. So the way this is going to shake out here, our top 3 is going to be, I believe, the 8 of Dana Osborne, the 3 of Paul Servant, and the 35 of Sawyer Ott. So it will be the 58 of Jim Peterson in 3rd. So with that being said, let's drag in our series sponsor and see what he has to say about his first time here at Monza. All right, Jim, you popped your cherry at Monza. I know it's not a pleasant one to pop, but how did it feel?
Oh, it was bad. I think I could have won it, but I hit that bump going into 1 and lost total control.
Well, tonight we saw, I think, everything and anything that could go wrong. We saw cars flying out of the track, flying inside the track. We saw a couple impale themselves on the fence. I think we ran out of, well, Mike said at one point we ran out of ambulances, we ran out of medevac choppers, we ran out of shovels, body bags. So I think the remainder of the drivers that died here tonight were shipped home in their trucks.
Yeah. It's a weird race, but I'm just glad I survived to make 3rd.
That's definitely going to be a good thing for Radical Racing, as I believe you're going to be the highest scoring Radical Racing driver here. And honestly, after racing it tonight, do you really want to come back for a second go around?
Nah, I'm pretty good. I'm not looking forward to the K&N cars here.
Oh, we are going to be running the K&Ns here. That's going to be even better than the trucks, because we know how unstable those things are on a regular plate track. So put them on this track, and I guarantee you we might only have 3 people left to finish the race. But you brought it home 3rd. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Holmes now, Radical Racing, and iHeart TV for broadcasting it. And God, I'm glad this is over.
Once again, congratulations on the 3rd, and I think we'll all breathe a sigh of relief when next week we return to a regular super speedway.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely respect Talladega and Daytona from now on.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the 3rd, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
That was our 3rd place finisher, the 58 of Jim Peterson. Now we're going to bring in the 3 of Paul Servant, our 2nd place. All right, Paul, we saw undoubtedly probably the craziest race in cyber racing history. What did it feel like behind the wheel?
That was crazy, man. We have an hour of practice. You'd think guys would figure out that they can't go too wide. You know, you got to give and take on this track. Some guy gets position on you, you got to give it to him. You can't fight it too wide in the turns, man. It's just going to end up like it did tonight.
Well, it definitely, if one thing was for sure, Jim got his money's worth out of the replays. We saw cars flying way up in the air out of the track. We saw, I believe, the 1 impale himself on the backstretch in the fence and do a backflip. We saw Dwayne fly off of the oval onto Monza Jr. Hell, I think he might have went on the backstretch of the Monza road course. We pretty much saw anything and everything that can go wrong. And Mike had alluded that you guys were running out of fuel there. How close was it there on the white flag?
I had .045. I mean, I was letting off, and when they all pitted behind us, we slowed right down to save. Dana ran out on the front stretch, and I passed him and got the win. But I was going to push him to the win, but he ran out of fuel, so I seen him burp, and I went around him.
Oh, all right, well then, congratulations on the race win. We thought that the 8 had got that one, but
Yeah, well, it was his. I was gonna be committed to his bumper. It's just, the fuel. He ran out, and I went around, and we needed this. We've been getting wrecked race after race. I mean, I got wrecked. I can't believe I was 2 laps down. I got my lap back the old-fashioned way, which was fun as hell, and then I got the lucky dog at the same time. So I got my 2 laps back, came back and won. So I'm freaking happy.
I think that's another point we need to hit on. How are you liking the new rule changes where we did away with the free passes and you have to get it the old school way? You got to stay out and earn that lucky dog.
Well, for me, it's great. It worked for me. If somebody else, it might not work so great for, and they'll be against it. But it is what it is.
Oh, well, congratulations on the win there. Top of the
It's great
point
to be
night.
back, man.
Oh, yeah, 1-2 for Southern Thunder there, so that's a great points night. Who would you like to thank?
My team, they're sticking with me. I worked on a setup a friggin' morning, and it was badass fast, and not so much for qualifying, but I wanted a stable, truck for race. I can burn a fuel tank on it, hold that yellow line, and she'd stick there. It's a hell of a setup, and we came from first and second. I wish the other teammates were here, but oh well,
Final question I'm going to ask before we cut you loose. Once we get back to Daytona and Talladega, are you going to kiss the pavement and be glad that you are back racing on a real track that's meant for these vehicles?
I love this track. I mean, this is a technique track. You like I said, you got to give and take, and if you're racing guys that aren't willing to lift and lose a spot, then you're gonna get wrecks like we've been getting. It's Darlington. It's a one groove track basically.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the race win, and thank God we will see you next week back in the United States.
Yes, sir. Woo, woo, man. This is great being back. It's been a while. It's great to hear from you guys too, man. It's great to be here.
All right, that was, turns out, our race winner. So now we're going to bring in second place. We're a little ass backwards tonight. Too many flying cars and death and impalement and bodies that we're going to have to load onto the plane. But let's bring in Dana. All right, Dana, you ran out of fuel there at the line, and Paul snaked the win out, but it couldn't have worked out any better as Southern Thunder goes 1-2 tonight, as undoubtedly we ran around probably the worst track to take a NASCAR spec vehicle to.
That was awesome, man. I knew I was running out of fuel, as long as Paul got it, man, I'm good with that. I'm good with second. I ain't been on this track in 2 years and come back second. Yeah, I'll take it.
Now, seeing that you haven't been on in 2 years, do you want to come back to it again, or would you be more inclined to stay at Daytona and Talladega?
I'll do it again,
Oh, rumors we've heard is we'll be returning for the second race in the K&Ns here, and we know how touchy and edgy those things are at Daytona and Talladega. I can only imagine how critical it's going to be. As Paul had pointed out, this is basically a gigantic Darlington. It's a one-groove track. You've got to have a lot of patience. You've got to have a lot of give and not a lot of take. And we saw a lot of drivers that were wanting to take and try and go too wide. And time after time we saw they'd get down on the apron, try to come back up. And as we explained throughout the broadcast, being down on an apron is basically the same equivalent as being at 200 miles an hour at Bristol, trying to come off the apron and then go up onto the banking. It just does not work, as we saw several times happen. But you brought her home second. Is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank?
I want to thank Paul for being on my team and congratulate him for that win there, man. That was awesome. And I want to thank Dwayne for putting on this. I know he's a little aggravated, but Dwayne, get your ass over it and get back in here, man. And I want to thank you guys for putting on this show.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the second place, and luckily we will see you next week back on American soil at the tracks we know and love so much.
We appreciate it.
I don't even. I don't. I just got word from the Italian government. We're never allowed back here. Yeah, a lot of it too was just impatience. You take these guys that run plate tracks every week, and they want to get to the front and get to the front and stay up in the front, and you just can't do that here. As Paul said, you just gotta be a little more patient and give and take. And unfortunately, a lot of people were taken there, and look what happened. They're in a body bag right now.
Well, luckily, we only have to go one more this season here, so hopefully it won't be as bad. As we put this one in the books, luckily next week we move back to, I believe it's Talladega, so that'll be in the K&Ns. Always great to see those cars. Fastest cars still in the draft, and at Talladega, I'm looking forward to seeing some three wide that can actually stick. So for everybody here at Homes Now Not Later, Cyber Racing Association, and Die Hard Live TV, I hope you guys enjoyed the continuous melee that we saw tonight, and know that we will be coming back one more time this season. So for everybody here, thanks for watching. Once again, tomorrow night we will not be racing with the Dire Racing League. We will be off for Easter, which coincidentally this year falls on April Fool's Day. So good thing we got that day off. But we will return next week at Texas Motor Speedway. So for everybody here, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next Saturday.